Hey everybody, it's me Stacy at Scrapbooking Made Simple here with another YouTube demo for you today. I know it's been a while since I've done one, so I'm so glad to be back, and I wanted to let you know I have a brand new series of YouTubes coming up over the next several months, so I certainly hope you're able to stay tuned for those. But for today, we're going to be working with Sizzix Dies by Ellison, and these dies are designed by Stephanie Bernard, and they're called Flip-It Dies. And they're just stinking cute. She did an amazing job. She gave you all the bells and whistles in one die. She made it a card die that's super easy, one cut. She put a movers and shapers feature into these dies. She put the scoring blades in so you don't have to score it. It's all done for you and you just get to play and be creative. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with today's demo, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna scroll on down, okay? Bye. Down we go. Alrighty then, here we go. We've got our Flip-It die right here. And as you can see, it's a little bit longer than a Biggs die, but not quite as long as an XL die. So they're calling it an L die. So that's the new, one of the new sizes. I know Tim Holtz has his tag die, I believe, is an L die, and his suitcase die is an L die. It is a steel rule die, so it's thicker, and you can cut heavier material with it. And like I promised, Stephanie made it a movers and shapers die, which means you have an opening here where you can put a magnetic die that will cut a window, and she also put in the scoring blades here for you so you don't have to score yourself. Now, movers and shapers die, this happens to be one of them. This is a magnetic die. It's a heart shape, and I can put it anywhere in that circle that I want, and it will cut the heart frame out of the circle, and I'm going to show you how to do that. The nice thing is once they're in, the movers and shapers don't move because it's a magnet, but easy to take out. Now, most movers and shapers are Tim Holtz dies. This one, the heart happens to come from his Valentine's Day collection of this year, but there's also the bunny rabbit and there's flowers. Tim Holtz has a ton of movers and shapers dies, and the movers and shapers will work with any die that has a base in it for movers and shapers, and it will say movers and shapers on the box. One of the things I really want to talk about before we start cutting is that this die requires a crease pad. And this is what a crease pad looks like. It's pliable, but not flimsy, it's not rubbery. And a lot of you are gonna say, oh, I have a black thing that looks just like that. That will work. Well, I wanna make sure you have the right thing that will work. So I wanna show you a couple other pads that Sizzix make that are also black that you may get confused with this. This is the silicone pad. And as you can see, it's very pliable and it feels just like rubber. And that's pretty much what it is. And you use this for embossing. So this will not work with Stephanie's Flip-It dies. This is not the right pad. And that's what it comes, how it comes, and it's totally pliable. Then there's an impression pad, also used for embossing. Here it's completely rigid, it's not pliable at all, it is solid, you're not gonna bend it. This is also not the pad to use with the Flip-Its dies, and this is how it comes packaged. So if these are the two black pads that you have, either the impression pad or the silicone pad, these are not the correct pads, and you will wanna get yourself a crease pad. And this is what a crease pad is. A little bit pliable, and will help you score with the scoring blades. It'll put the scoring marks in for you. Now, they do sell it in a smaller size for your big shot, and I recommend just going ahead and buying the XL size, because most of the XL dies are bags and boxes and cards and things of that nature, and you really should have this for that purpose. Also, Tim's Rosette Flowers. This works very well. It keeps those scoring lines nice and clean without being getting cut through. So you might as well just go ahead and get the XL size. It's not gonna hurt the die any if it's a little bit big. And once you have it, you don't need another size. So that makes it really nice. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut a Flip-It die for you so you can see how fabulous they are. Now, I have got my Sizzix Big Shot machine because, of course, here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, the Big Shot machine is our die cutting machine of preference, of choice here. I have got my clear plate, which goes on the bottom. I have got my paper, and this time I'm using double-sided paper. I've put it right on top of my die, and then instead of another clear plate, I'm going to use my crease pad. And I'm going to just send this right on through. And away it goes. Alrighty. We are done. Here it is. And it's cut out my semicircle, but it's also put, and I don't think you can see it, it's also put my scoring lines in, which is really nice. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it on my scoring line here in half, and then I'm going to take my second scoring lines, which are right here, right above it, and fold back. Now, what that does is when I open it, it flips. Is that so cute? I just absolutely love it. I think it's genius. Stephanie, you rock. So this is what we're going to show off today, is the Flip-It die. And can you see why I like the double-sided paper? Because then you've got your circle here, which is visible, already in a different color, already in a different pattern that obviously coordinates with the back side. Now I do have it in just the cardstock, just so you can see what a cardstock flip-it would look like. And then we also have it in a couple different shapes. Now, there's 6 different shapes, and currently we have 3 of them in stock. This is the circle, which is the one I'm showing off right now. Then we have the flower, and on double-sided paper, this is what the flower looks like. And again, it cuts the same way. It scores your double sets of lines, and it cuts out your flower, and you're done. This is your card. All we have to do is decorate and put a sentiment and put it in an envelope and send it on its way. And last, we have the bracket, which I just think is really pretty. I think they're calling it a fancy frame. And a card made with the fancy frame is here. Really cute and simple. Your card's done. You sign it, put it in the mail, and it's good to go. All right. Now I did tell you that you can use these with the Movers and Shapers dies. So I'm going to grab my die, and again, Movers and Shapers. I'm going to put it in. Let's go ahead and grab my machine again. And my cutting plate. Now what's important is that when you're using a Movers and Shapers, you need to know where to position it, because of course this die the card flips. It's a flip-it. So I put a little mark here. That tells me I want to be on this side. Don't ask me why I didn't put the mark on the side I wanted. I have no idea. I'd put it on the opposite side. So I know after cutting a couple times and having it wrong, this is the side I want my Movers and Shapers to be on. And so I'm taking my heart, and again it's magnetic so it's not going to move, and I want it right about there. I'm going to take a piece of my pattern paper, and again I'm using double-sided paper, and I'm going to take my crease pad as opposed to another clear plate. So the sandwich is clear plate, die, paper, crease pad, and I'm going to send it through my Sizzix Big Shot. There we go. Get it all lined up, and away we go. And done. Now, can you see? Before I pull it out, you've got where the die is cut. I've got my scoring marks here and here. It's cut my half circle so it will flip, and it has also cut my heart window out of my die. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it in half on the scoring, then fold back, and there's my heart window on my Flip-It. really easy. So you can utilize all of those movers and shapers you have. And what I also want to tell you is that Tim Holtz has a die or a plate that is called a movers and shapers base plate, where the entire plate is open and magnetic. You need to have either a base plate like that or a movers and shapers die if you want to just cut the little heart. Okay, you can't stick this heart in between two clear plates and put it through because it's not going to be thick enough. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to cut anything. It needs to either be in the Tim Holtz base plate, which I have a YouTube on, or it needs to be in another die that has a movers and shapers feature. Let's say I just wanted to use this heart for something completely different. I can just throw it into Stephanie's die and I can grab some paper, put it on top, roll it through, cut it out, and all it's going to do is cut me lots and lots and lots of hearts, which is what I did here. I cut lots and lots and lots of hearts, and I'm going to show you why I cut those hearts. But I didn't need the whole die. I just wanted those hearts. So you need to have a movers and shapers die or Tim's base plate to use the movers and shapers on their own. So I wanted to make that clear so everybody understands. You just can't buy the thin movers and shapers and try and use them with the two clear plates. It just won't work. So let me show you a sample that I did using the movers and shapers. And this was just a super easy card. So I cut the heart out here, just like I had done in the sample I just made. I cut out the heart, and then I went ahead and I cut a whole bunch of hearts out to finish my flower, to make up a heart flower. And then when you flip it, I've got the hearts in the other color. A really simple card, and this one says, "You make me smile." And this card does. It's a very happy card. I really like it. But very simple to do using Stephanie's Flip-It dies and the movers and shapers feature and function in it. Okay, let me show you a few other samples that we've got. We've got the bunny, and you flip. And again, this is a movers and shapers die that we went ahead and we cut out, and this again is a Tim Holtz die right here. And we put it right in the middle of the movers and shapers here, put paper over it, and we just cut the bunny. Then we have a Valentine's Day die, or card here. And we did the same thing. We took the Cupid here, put him inside the movers and shapers function of her Flip-It card. So it's actually recessed. The Cupid is not sitting on top of the card, he's actually underneath. Okay, now this one we have Cupid sitting on top. And it flips. Isn't that so cute? Flip. And it's a one-cut die. So you've got the scoring feature, the whole card is all done, and really cute. I can tell you that you want to use a little bit thicker paper. This card happens to be on a thinner paper, and it flips beautifully. In fact, this time we have it flipping vertical versus horizontal, but you do want to try and use a little bit thicker paper. And this is the flower Flip-It. And our last sample is another flower Flip-It. Cute, huh? And this one says Happy Spring. Okay, so what did we learn today? We learned that Stephanie has come up with some fabulous new dies called Flip-Its. They're an L-size die, so they're a little bit bigger than a Bigs die, but not quite as big as an XL die. That there are 6 different Flip-It dies. This happens to be the circle. And this one is the flower. And this one is the fancy frame. We have these 3 in stock now and ready to ship. We learned that Stephanie gave you not only the scoring blades already in there so you don't have to score your card, but she made it a movers and shapers feature so you can use all of your movers and shapers. And if you haven't started collecting movers and shapers, you're going to want to because they're so much fun. And Tim and Stephanie and all the Sizzix designers do an amazing job with them, and you're going to want to start to have them. Now with this die, you do need to have a crease pad. That's an important feature of this die. If you don't, the die will start to cut through where the scoring blades are, and you don't want it to cut, you want it to score. So a crease pad is important, and these are made by Ellison. They're for Sizzix, they're for the big shot, and I recommend you just go ahead and get the XL size because that'll take care of all the dies, including Tim's rosettes and things like that. So I think that Stephanie did a great job. I'm really excited about these dies. I certainly hope you've learned something today. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna scroll back on up, and I'm gonna say thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you had a great time. I hope you learned something, and I will see you soon. I have a whole new YouTube coming out hopefully next week, and we'll be working with Flower Soft on that one. So I will see you soon, and take care. Bye.